Hi, guys. Today we are going to talk about narrative poems. So, if you think of the narrative stories you've written, right, they are stories. They've got the beginning, the middle, the end, and they've got that plot line going on. Well, that's what narrative poems are. They're poems that tell a story. These are some of my favorite kind of poems to write and to read. Let's see if it will let me go down. There we go. All right, here are things I need you to do for this assignment. I need you to do at least one of these reviews. These are plot elements in Quizlet, so just go through and it will remind you of all of those different plot elements. And this is a challenge one. It includes different types of conflict, and we might not have gone over these. I can't remember, but it would be good for you to look at those different kinds. And then you are watching this video for me right now. You're watching the teacher video for this. So thank you for watching. Next one. So this is what I want to explain to you. We've got Casey at the bat, and you read that last week, and it was a story about this man who was playing baseball and thought he was just all that, and then ends up striking out at the end. So we can fill out a plot line for a narrative poem just like we can for a short story. So for example, here's our exposition. We've got the setting in Mudville. The problem is that the Mudville Nine is losing 4-2 with only one inning left to play. And really, the main character is Casey. There are other smaller ones, but I didn't even list them. The type of conflict we have is man versus man. We've got Casey against the other team. We've got our rising action. Well, don't expect to make it to Casey because there are two bad players coming, so the crowd is disappointed. Those two bad players get on base. Casey gets up to bat. Everyone thinks he'll win the game, and he just lets two balls go by him and gets two strikes. Climax. He finally swings at the bat. Now remember, this is at the very, very end of the poem. So climax, remember, comes at the end of a story, so it makes sense it's at the end of the poem. The falling action is that one stanza where it kept repeating. Somewhere people are smiling, somewhere people are singing. That's our falling actions. That somewhere people are having a good time. And the resolution, Casey strikes out. He did not win. So what's interesting, the protagonist versus antagonist. Casey is our protagonist. He is the main person in the story, even though we don't really like him because he's so arrogant that we're kind of like, ha, he missed. You're kind of cheering that he missed. But he's still the protagonist because he's the main character of the story. And then the antagonist is just who is against that person. Well, it's the other team. One theme that I came up with for this is that even if you are very talented at something, you can still fail. Casey was very talented. If we look back at textual evidence, his team expected him to win. They thought he was going to come and he was going to save the day for him. So he had been, he was very good at baseball, but he still failed. So that could be this universal theme that would work for everybody, and it could work for any other sort of story. And remember, that's what our theme is when we talk about it. So once you've done the review, you've watched this video, the next thing to do is to go into Actively Learn and read this poem called The Cremation of Sam McGee. Well, if you hear cremation, you already know someone's going to die in this story. So this is a narrative poem. It's set in the Arctic. It's a very cold place. And the main characters are Sam McGee and Cap. Cap is the narrator. He's the one talking. And they're on an exhibition searching for gold, and strange things happen to them in this tall tale. So go to 49 in Google Classroom. It'll take you to the link to read the poem. And then make sure you follow through and then turn it in when you are done, please. Thank you so much. Enjoy your new poem.